voice ready to watch the game.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Gate with Dustman and Nate. I'm Dustman, and to bring you another exclusive, new type of episode.
Yep.
My dog Nate.
What's up, everybody? Nate here, and on this one, we're just going to be talking a bunch of just new stuff we got going on, talking about everything going on in BMX, talking about just everything, just trying to give you all a good quality episode, just not an interview this time, just kind of just bullshitting back and forth.
Yeah, we got a few topics that we can go over, and I know that a lot of people go over these topics as well. I know that there's been a bunch of talk about them both.
Yeah, now it's just our turn to take our take on them, because might as well, right?
Yeah, you might as well, get our little bit of content out there, like you said. So let's get to it.
Yeah.
So before we get going, we're gonna we'll take this time real quick before we start out to thank some of our sponsors over there.
Thanks to Gate9. They do all of our number plates, and they helped us get everything together for the show. We really appreciate them.
Yes, they just did our ripped plates we showed you guys last time. They're awesome.
Yeah,
so
super
awesome.
sick.
Get a hold of Billy.
Yep. And we got Ripped also. Your company here doing a lot for us.
Yep. Dye Job Apparel as well. Sean will take care of you if you need
any kind of shirt, any custom designs on them. He's got that covered.
Mm-hmm. Products by EVB. EVB. That's the guy that takes care of us with our videos and all that stuff.
That's Eric. He's a great dude. Talk to him. He can give you a hand.
Yeah. Mega Design Group. If you need a canopy.
They got you covered, man. They've got some of the sickest ones.
Yes. Brian Fell. Get a hold of Brian Fell. He's a really good dude.
Yep. And thanks to T-Bone Progate. Some great dudes out here helping us, helping you.
Yep. We talked about them last time. The carbon hoops.
Yep.
Them things are
indestructible.
They're
super
great.
Sick.
Brian Wilson, get a hold of him. That's the guy to go and you definitely get a hold of him.
Yep. And don't forget to watch Beer Budget and ATV. Check them out. There's some really good shows. They make some good quality content as well.
Yes, as well as Chris's Corner over there, down there in Texas.
Yep.
I know we forgot about him last time. We know we didn't forget about you.
Yep. And might as well, don't forget to like, subscribe to us, turn on your post notifications so you can see every time we're making posts. We'd love to get more content out there to you guys, and if you enjoy it, don't forget to share it.
Yeah. So speaking about Ripped, I've been talking about a little bit of a new product coming out. I know some of you guys might have seen it, and I did end up revealing what it was. I don't know if I did. I think I did say who was making it, and it's this guy over here who's designing it. And I just wanted to have him tell you guys a little bit about it, and so that way you guys can actually understand that it's not coming from some China made. So we got some USA made stuff coming.
Yeah, we're gonna be making it right here. Gonna be hopefully the shop I work at 5th year there. Been doing it. Been machining. I'm a mold maker by trade, so making a BMX stem with the specs that usual BMX companies run. It's really not that hard to hit.
Right.
So what I'm doing is just kind of had to do something for school anyway. So I was like, this makes sense. I'm going to make all this. Well, I'm designing the stem. It's going to be billet steel, or I'm going to make it out of all one block of steel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try out a couple different materials, see which ones holds up the best, and then we're going to try and produce some for the website. See like what hardnesses work the best, and it's going to be super precision made. That's the goal here.
Right.
I want it super nice. I want super quality product.
Mm-hmm.
I want it, and then it's just the product that's going to speak for itself.
Yeah, and I couldn't be more happier having him do this. Somebody that's in with the group. So I'm excited to see it. I know everybody else will be excited to see it, and I'm sure that they'll be flying off the shelves.
That'd be sick. That'd be awesome. I want to make a good quality product, have my hand in it, and it'd be super sick to just make BMX parts. Because my entire goal with getting a job doing that was get one of the most difficult types of machining.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working at a journeymanship in it, right? So I wanted to take that kind of skills and take it to making BMX parts or car parts at some point in time. So, and realistically, I'd like to do both. So this fulfills half of what I was trying to do.
Right. And it's kind of like how the thing that the reason that I started RIPT,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the money, it's just having to be able to say like, look, that kid over there has my thing on his bike, bro. Like
so sick.
that right there alone is just the coolest part.
100%.
So like when I go to the track and I see some kids like, that they got my pedals, I'm like,
yo, sick.
yeah, it's like, it's just like so cool to me, So like when that comes in and you see a bunch of people with your stem that you made, you know what I'm saying, and created, it's just gonna be like, wow, like that's gonna be a footprint for you in the BMX world,
Yeah, honestly. And I mean, realistically, like they could do like custom order stems with it, like, because all it is technically a block cut to a certain spec, and I adjust the design for the size, and depending on how many orders there are, like,
right,
you could possibly do that until you get so big.
So then that would be able to be allowed to have the minis then. So if we are, if we have people that want them, we could definitely get them. So
yeah, right. And I mean, it'd be super sick. Obviously, we're gonna come out the pro size first because I gotta test them out. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. We definitely want to get the testing and make sure that we got a quality product like you said. So which I mean, I trust you 100%. So we'll definitely see.
We ain't making nothing bad, man.
Right. We'll definitely backflip them.
It's gonna be billet steel. It's gonna be super strong. It's gonna be perfect.
Good. So after the talk about the stem, we're gonna go with talking about some flat sprints and flat training. Flat pedal training.
Definitely.
So, I mean, I know when I was younger, I rode like trails clipped in and everything. I did. I rode clipped in for a long time. Probably all the way until like I got my clips when I was 8 years old, and I never stopped riding them until I was probably 14. And and that was, I was everywhere. No matter where I went, I was going to skate parks back then when I was young. And I'd be riding a skate park clipped in, like a crazy kid, like people would be like, "You're nuts." I was. I was nuts. Dude, that's crazy now thinking about it. But
yeah,
I think that, I don't know, I think that might have helped me a little bit, I was
definitely made you learn how to maneuver the bike and handle everything.
Yeah, and I wasn't scared to be clipped in. I wasn't scared to be,
right.
I wasn't scared to be put in a position where I'm gonna fall, clipped in. I didn't care, it was like, it was gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Right.
So taking that to the races kind of like, helped me a lot, because when I ended up being in that type of situation, I wasn't scared,
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm clipped in. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it definitely got you used to them and very comfortable with them for certain.
Right. So, I mean, flat pedal definitely helps a lot, because like I said, until I was 14, because once I was 14, I stopped riding flat pedals or clipped like at trails, pretty much anywhere besides at racing.
Yeah.
And I think that helped a lot too,
Yeah.
That helped with my bike control, being able to pedal correctly, having the right circle, when you're pedaling, manualing, everything,
Yep.
So learning how to jump correctly.
Yep.
That was a lot. That was one of the main things. Because when I was young and I was learning with clips, I would do nothing but pull up with my feet,
Yeah.
And Jeremy Cott, when he, the one that we had on here, he would yell at me like every weekend, like, "You gotta quit riding with them damn clips every," he's like, "You pull up every time." I'm like, yeah, this is something that I was used to,
Yeah, it's a bad habit. I mean, you learn in one way.
Right. So when
you're running with it.
Yep. And then when I ended up like getting off the clips, and that's when it smoothened out,
What made you decide to get off the clips?
I don't know. I really don't.
You just one day decided it was a good idea to ride with one top?
I mean, it might have been, I crashed down at the trails one time, clipped in, and I went over the bars, and I ended up hitting my face and stuff like that. I didn't have a helmet on. I'm
Yeah.
a dummy in that. I don't ride a helmet very much when I ride trails like a dummy, but I've been trying to like as much as I can, like
Yeah.
when I like backflip or stuff like that. If I do something stupid, but it's stupid not to ride without a helmet anyways, especially as much as we hit our head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I ended up going over the bars, hit my face, and I ended up, after that, I think it was when I was like, you know what, I'm not going to ride trails flipped in anymore.
Yeah. I need to bail if I need to bail.
Yeah.
I want to learn more tricks. Take my feet off. It's fun.
Yeah. And I ended up learning how to like bail.
Yeah.
After that.
For sure.
Yeah. I didn't want to like make the jump at all. I spent like a whole couple days like
Just figuring out how to
just
get away
throwing-
from the bike.
yeah,
You're like figuring out how to roll out smoother, like figuring it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sometimes that's what it takes, man. You gotta know how to fall.
mm-hmm. So I mean, in all reality, it's all about practice, and
Yeah.
you got to practice it all. You
Mm-hmm.
got to practice everything you're doing in racing, and flat pedal technique comes into play.
100%. It definitely does. Because I'm a big advocate of flat pedal training.
Mhm.
When I fell and I broke my shoulder, I took all until last weekend only rode flats.
Mhm.
Like on the recovery, everything just ride flats, because I decided I need to learn a lot more track control,
Right.
track skill. I needed to get more off of every drum. I need to be more comfortable on my bike.
Mm-hmm.
So I rode flats and I clipped back in last weekend. Felt amazing. I'm gonna go back to flats though. Like,
But just ride for just racing.
yeah, I just wanted to like test it because I was like, I wonder what it's gonna feel like. The thing I noticed is I was more forward on my bike because I was going faster. Like it definitely helped me pick up speed. Like when with coming out of the gate and everything, my spin was better on my 3, 4, 5, 6. They felt a lot stronger.
Right.
And as well as like my snap and everything. But like coming back from a flat pedal gate to a clipped in gate, my gates weren't as like snappy in there.
Just a little right.
Yeah,
of course.
It's gonna take like 2 or 3 days of doing gates on.
Yep.
But that's just how I am. Like it takes me a while to adjust to things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I definitely feel like it helps a lot. It made me so much smoother. Like I'm getting a lot more control on my bike. I took that entire time. Like I've gotten almost through the whole like third straight of steel wheels. Like I'm trying to figure out how to do all like the manual ends that I should have figured out when I was like 14, 15, but never got around to it, I guess. So better late than never, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like the same thing with your sprints doing non-flat pedals. It's
you learn how to spin it. And when you put the because when you're doing it with the clips, you got a crutch on, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's helping you get a lot out of not like as much technique.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take them off and switch them more often, you get more out of it, right?
Right, for sure. So maybe just swap on and off,
Yeah, definitely pays.
Mm-hmm.
100% pays.
Yeah. So Monday do it flats, Wednesday do it clipped.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense to me.
And then Friday go ahead and do it with flats again.
Yeah, it definitely helps to be like still comfortable on all.
Yeah.
Don't ever.
Right.
But maybe some people don't have that same kind of view as I do. But maybe that's just because I took so much time off of the clips. Maybe if I reintroduce it every once in a while.
Right. Never know.
Yeah, but definitely.
Just gotta do it though. You gotta do it. So since we got nobody here and it's just me and you, I kind of wanted to figure out, what was one of the main things that got you to the point to where you're at in your BMX career. So like, what was one of the main factors that you could say that got you to where you're at?
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of things to it. It definitely might have been like a thing that's helped me get this far was like my work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me develop it. It helped me figure it out, and it's kept me just keep grinding at this because the longer you're in it, the better you're gonna get, and the more you get out of everything you put in.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely helps. That helps.
Oh, it does.
And another thing that helped me develop the work ethic was the track I built in Poplar Grove.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going through like all the city hall meetings and stuff, and we had like a whole like track built like up in Poplar Grove. We were working on it. I worked on it like every day for like 3 or 4 summers, and it was like some days it was just me out there, but it was like the dedication to make something nice.
Right.
And it all compiles over the years and makes me who I am today.
Cool. That's awesome, man. So like you were working on did they end up getting how many? I know because like I know I'm all over the place, but like I know that they had the Poplar Go track. I remember that. How long did they even like? Did they even get it going?
No, it was kind of just like a city like pump track
Right.
almost. It had 4 straights and like Burzilla sized corners.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a guy with an excavator come in and he was just like, corner, okay, walk up and made it huge.
Really?
Yeah, it was super sick, but like it was just me out there ever working on it with a shovel, working on corners that are Burzilla size. So it's like no wonder we couldn't get anything done.
Right.
And like my biggest pet peeve about it was in the city hall across the street. There was a bobcat sat there 3/4 of the time, not in use. I was like, man, if y'all want to help us out, we could make something really nice.
Can I just borrow that for like 2 hours?
Yeah, for real. And like,
wow.
that's crazy.
So it was there for how long then?
Oh yeah, I was there for 4-ish years. I started probably like 5th, 6th grade. We were in the paper for it and all. I can find some articles on that.
Yeah, I do actually. I remember them coming up and saying that they were like doing something out there that you could ride. I never did end up making it out there.
We held like 2 or 3 jams out there. Like after racing, we came out and ordered a bunch of pizza and like had like little contests and like because it was rideable. Like all of it was rideable. It wasn't maybe like as wide as a normal sanction track, but I mean it was fairly close.
Yeah.
And like we just didn't get enough help.
Right.
And like people always complain. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're having fun. So
they tore it. They bulldozed it down for a dog park, and there's no dog park still. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
So for me,
I was gonna say. So what's gotten you to this point? What do you think your biggest attribute is?
God, man, I think that it's just sticking to it. You know.
Yeah.
But the beginning, I would have to say riding trails, man. Literally.
Yeah.
When I was 5, my dad sent me down this hill. I ain't had no brakes back then either. Still don't have no brakes, but I didn't have no brakes. I had no brakes back then, and
just for the record, never
brakes.
brakes.
But he sent me down this hill, like and when I say a hill, like it's super steep, man, like super steep, and it went to a tabletop, and like there was a big hay bale next to it because there was a tree.
Yeah.
So like they had hay bales around the tree, and the first time I ever jumped it, I ran right into the hay bale and flipped over and all that, you know. But that place definitely molded me to be a great rider, I think.
Yeah, definitely dialed in the skills, like all of those things.
I was luckily around a very growing BMX community in Freeport where like I had probably, you know, easily 5 to 6 dudes that were, you know, 10, 11, 12 years older than me, riding at all times, you know, so like I could go down the trails and ride with these guys. Yeah. And they were all really good, you know, like not one of them was like a very bad rider. They were all riding and it was, you know, it was always a really good time, you know, and I was little and, you know, my dad would take me down there and I'd go hit that tabletop. Man, for hours, you know.
It's again that like little community though of people riding. That's definitely that helps inspire you and helps you figure everything out.
Yeah, the roots in Freeport is definitely one of the reasons why I am to where I am because I was lucky enough to have, you know, 2 sets of trails in Freeport. You know, you know the one out there by the river, where mine is. You know, and then the other one. So like I always had, you know, somewhere that I could ride and even the street riding down there ain't too bad. I mean, there's a couple of good spots.
There's definitely a decent amount of spots in Freeport. Yeah, I've scoped them out. They're definitely pretty on point.
Yeah, so I mean, I always had probably, you know, like I said, 9 friends. I would go to the trails at like as soon as it would get light out. Yeah. I had no business even being up at 4 or 5 in the morning, but we were going to the trails at 5 in the morning, and we'd ride I swear I'd ride my bike until 11 o'clock at night. I'd go home, and we were living on Dr. Pepper and stuff like that, you know.
Proper.
Yeah, dude, like it was quarter pops back then at Walmart.
Yeah.
So like we'd go to Walmart and get a quarter pop and just drink pop all day and ride, and then go street riding when it got dark. So I think, you know, that helped a lot.
Yeah.
And then riding until I'm about to be 33 next month, so I've never stopped.
So
So
it's just keeps every skill you get just keeps on adding on everything else. You get.
yeah, I was bound to get good at some point. I wasn't always good. I wasn't always great. I wanted to, just stick to it.
Right. So I also feel the same about it as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's something I realize I really like and passionate about. It's like, dang, if I just keep doing this, I will eventually
Right.
get to where I want to be.
Right. As long as you do it, you'll get better.
Mhm.
Like same thing, when I learned how to backflip, I wanted to backflip when I was like 18. I went for it, but I didn't go for it. I didn't actually commit. And then when I finally turned 21, that's when I learned how to do it. I built up just a little tabletop, and I packed in the lip and left the backside loose and just sent it. And I actually committed, and I got it on my third try.
Hell yeah.
And I thought to myself, like, man, if I would have just committed back then, I would have did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's what it is: just doing it and just doing it. And you're gonna get it at some point. So
realizing it, and like I think that's also a thing that helps you out too. You always commit 110% to freaking everything.
yes, that is one.
That is a big thing
that
too,
is
man.
definitely
Like, committing to it all, man.
that's huge for me for sure.
It definitely it helps a lot.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I learned from when we were just talking about going down that hill when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
That's why I do that. My dad sent me down that with no brakes. I had no choice but to send it 110%. Whether I was going to run into the hay bale or not. I'm going for it. So
yep.
No brakes definitely helps with that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not telling you to not ride. I'm not telling you to ride with
it's not
no
a
brakes.
recommendation, but
I'm just saying, like, it definitely helps that commit.
It
like,
does create a certain set of skills.
You definitely have no choice. So I mean,
it does happen to create a certain set of skills.
Yeah, it does. A very, very good set.
Mm-hmm.
Can dodge stuff. Mm-hmm. So talking about my early days, I know who I wanted to ride with, but I'll tell you that in a minute. So who did you actually want to ride like when you were younger? So like when you were growing up and you just got into the BMX, did you see anybody that you were like, man, I want to ride like that guy?
Yeah, like you're like, dang, I want to whip like that dude.
Yeah.
Like, all right. So
and who was it and why?
Man, both. I really like Mike Day's style because dude was super smooth and just crazy like fast.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it, just the way he rode the bike and how smooth it was. I just inspired to be that smooth.
Dude, when he won the NBL Grands at one time, from like he won it, dude, like from the last straightaway, just like that dude he was one of the guys that had like one of the best
insane track speed, like
best rhythms, like whew.
For real. That's crazy.
He's definitely in like the top 5 like best rhythms that I know of.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, well, who's the rest of them?
Well, definitely Bubba Harris.
Yeah.
Bubba Harris was killer. Jeff Upshaw, he was an animal. He still is an animal in the rhythms, but like back then, he's definitely a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might be the competition that he's in now. Because I mean, once you get to that level, everybody's great. So like he definitely stood out in his class.
Yeah, when you were racing him.
Yeah, so like his rhythm's killer. So that was 2. So Mike Day, that's 3.
Yep.
I don't really know the older guys, man, but I know Mario Soto.
Yeah, and Drew Smooth.
Yeah, for sure. God, I don't know who else. Kyle Bennett was good, but I mean, I wouldn't say his rhythm was like his.
This is the pickup manuals.
Yeah, he was definitely a Yank manual king. Yes, but yeah. So that was who you wanted to ride like was Mike Day then.
Yeah.
That's definitely somebody.
Yeah.
That's somebody to be.
That's tough. Who did you want to ride like when you were younger?
Ah, man. There's a couple of them actually.
Yeah.
I'd say like Mo Tillman, definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Mo was very good. He was a strong rider. A very strong rider in the first straightaway.
Yeah.
And like I watched him a lot at Elkhorn, and dude, he was like unbeatable at Elkhorn,
Yeah.
From gate 8.
Yeah.
He could beat a full gate of 8 in the gate 8 at Elkhorn.
That's wild. That's crazy to be able to get over that quick.
dude. Yeah, what?
Out and over.
Yeah, dude. So like, and after watching him break his nose at Sedalia, Missouri, and he still raced, and then they called him Mighty Mo broke his nose to him, and the rest of the weekend, I had to like after that I loved him. You know, I already liked him already, but and then another one was Mark Melton. You know,
Yeah.
that's definitely one. That's who I mimicked my corners from. You know, that's where I got my cornering from was Mark Melton, for sure. He was definitely, I looked up to him a lot.
Dude is a legend.
Yeah, because he was, you know, he was around. He was a lot. He was a little younger than Mo, you know. So like he was more of a rookie when I was probably 8 or 9, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he had long hair like I did, and you know he had the half cut helmet. He was a killer, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He was very good at stylish, dude. Like he had it all, you know. So like I definitely wanted to ride like him a lot. So
Yeah.
Mark Melton and Mo Tillman definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some sick riders too. So
yeah, for sure.
I did also really like Mark Willers too. Mark Willers was pretty sick.
Dude, Mark Willers definitely, like, I looked up to him so much because, like, I was like, and he was an older rider, and I'm like, man, if he can do Elite Pro at this age, I still have a shot. You know, I'm like, I can still do this.
It's crazy,
you know?
dude.
But yeah, dude, I definitely agree, dude. Mark Willers was like
Crazy.
Yep, he was a very good rider. I remember talking to him at Rockford BMX.
Yeah.
One year when he didn't make the main event, and we were watching, you know, the actual mains. And we were talking about, you know, a few things, but it was really cool talking to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely a very good rider. If you guys don't know who that is, check him out. So I know this is one of the things that people have been talking about on No Holds Barred and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The big hill for vet pros.
Yeah.
So do you think that the vet pros should be going down the big hill?
Oof. That is a big discussion. I mean, realistically, for the vet pros to be going down the big hill, I think it would be a cool thing. I think it'd be pretty cool. I don't think they need to. I feel like they've already spent their time in pro. They want they're retired from the Elite Pro, which does the big hill. But I feel like it's definitely like they should put it up to a vote. And even if it was like not everyone in the qualifiers wanted to race it, at least like let the main event race the
right.
if they
like
wanted
how the
to.
one guy stopped it from happening.
Yeah, at Louisville. And like, I mean, that's just the way. I just think it'd be fair because, I mean, everyone that races, they want to put on a show. They want it to be as exciting as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And all the guys that are racing, the talent in there is insane. They got the ability to do it.
Right. But there you go. You know, if we have.
And I want to know what your opinion is. What do you think? Do you want to go down the big hill?
I mean, it don't matter to me.
Yeah.
I do know I don't want to crash going down the big hill.
Yeah, that would be very
unfortunate. You know, especially like, you know, like that pro has like some 40-year-olds in there. Yeah,
you're not wrong. And that's why I would be okay with it being up to a vote.
Right. Like, and I'm not saying that the 40-year-olds can't do it.
Right. But it's like if they don't want to risk it because they got to go to work when they get home.
Right.
It's okay.
A 40-year-old's not going to bounce off one of them jumps as easy as a 19-year-old.
Right.
You know?
Right. You're right.
But I don't know. I have such mixed emotions because I would.
You really want to do it, don't you?
Yeah, well, 13-year-olds can do it. I mean, you go to Louisville and there's 13-year-olds there. I mean, there's intermediates that can do it, dude.
Right.
You know, so I mean.
It's like I went down to Louisville Hill and did it. So
right.
I mean, like,
so,
there's no doubt in my mind that you would be able to do it.
It's just then but that's not putting in the aspect of everybody coming together.
Right.
You know, and jumping over that first jump. So, I mean, I would have to just say no.
Yeah.
To race it, no. Riding it, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm sure that any and every vet pro can ride the big hill all day, you know, with no problem. But as far as racing it and having the chance to tangle up and anything like that, I don't think that, like you said, that's not in their, you know, in their goals anymore to battle down this big hill like that.
Right.
The risk ain't, you know, worth it anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that you're kind of right with taking the step down.
Yeah. It's like always like let them choose too, because it's like, man, like let them engage choose if they all want to be in there. I mean, like,
yeah,
I mean, like let them all choose. Let you choose. Like, I mean, think everyone should have the options to do it. Like,
Yeah.
they need to.
That's definitely it's a hard
Yeah, because it's like
A
what
hard
if
subject.
I know it's because you haven't really gotten comfortable on it, so it's
Yeah.
like you go three or four times down, you're like, okay, this isn't that bad, because like
right. It ain't nothing but another hill. It's just man-made,
Right.
you know.
right, and it's
So
like
it's like
they don't. When you watch a lot of the racing too, that no one's chopping
right.
like going down the big hill. Everyone's going straight realistically. So
Mhm.
it's like if someone chops you out the gate, you take the half pedal back, you get into the like area, maybe you have enough room. It's
yeah.
But I mean, I haven't been in the position to
Right.
judge
Racing
anything.
it. Right.
Yeah,
So
I haven't.
yeah. So I mean, that's hard for us to say when we ain't never been in a position to race.
Right.
You know? So, but at the same time, though, like I think you're onto something with the risking it. I think that's one of the reasons why they stepped out of that is to get rid of being in that situation
Yeah.
that they could just die at any moment.
Right.
You know,
like,
because I mean, vet pros are supposed to be a little more relaxed. You know,
yeah.
so
But they still want the like more aggressive competition than their age class X.
right. So I mean, yeah. I mean, if like you said, if the full gateway wants to go up to the top, go ahead. You
Yeah.
know, if not, you know, I guess it is what it is. Go back to elite pro.
Yeah, I mean, I guess take the choice. I mean, that elite pros race the big hill. That's what you want to race.
Yeah.
You can sign up for it, but I mean, it's really up in the air.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
So, what do you really? I know I've seen a lot about it. I want to know what your opinion is on it. What's your hot take on the Stasic bikes? Do you think it's a good or a bad? What do you think it's about?
Oh man, this is another one of those tough situations. Because I think that it can still be good, but then again, there's a lot of it's like weighing the negative and the positive. You know, like
Yeah.
I think it's more of an intro for motocross.
Yeah.
To me, and they couldn't really like do it smoothly on motocross tracks, so they just decided to come to USA BMX, pay them, and said we're going to do it here instead. So I feel like a lot of them kids are just going to go to motocross anyway.
Right. Yeah. It's like the step before the PW50 almost.
Yeah. So I mean, but at the same time, some of them kids might come to BMX, but not a lot of them.
Because they do they are exposed to it, so like
Right.
that is a benefit to us.
Right.
Like, we
So
get
they
to see it.
Right. So they might make friends at the BMX track before,
Right.
like, but you know, there's a lot of factors in that.
Mm-hmm.
That what would keep them at the BMX track, you know, because all of a sudden they got to get off this motorized thing and start pedaling. When striders, from the time that you can ride a strider all the way till 5 years old, you're pushing your body weight.
Yeah, you're figuring out that you have to almost like pedal.
Your legs are getting strong. You know, you're not sitting there being lazy on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually working. You know, I feel like a kid that rides a strider, you put two kids at the same, they're born on the same day, and one starts on a strider and one starts on a Stasic, and then once they turn 6 years old, have them race on a pedal bike. I guarantee that kid that's on a strider,
I can see that. Yeah,
you're gonna kill that kid.
Builds up more leg muscle,
right? So I think that's a Stasic ain't training you properly to race BMX.
I can see that. Yeah, 100%. I think it definitely. I see it as it being a good way for a recruitment of funds for like USA BMX. It definitely helps like with that promotion and stuff.
Right.
It helps draw more people into the sport. It helps expose it.
Right, because it has gotten exposure on motocross and supercross.
Right. Yeah, and like you just get exposed to all of the like more people, and that's where it definitely comes in help as well. Like there is good, and as you said, that it does kind of more or less lean toward a motocross style of riding, but hopefully they decide that when they're at the track seeing all these cool guys do all these pedaling,
right,
like riding the pedal bikes, and they were like, I want to do that, and they switch to it.
And see, that's where I'm talking about the good and the bad. These like it does help a lot. USA BMX definitely. I mean, you think they make $1 million, every 2 weeks, but they don't. Every business has every business has to pay out just as much, about as much as they make in. So like, just having that type of funding is cool, but I don't know, like it's just the way that they gotta present it, I guess.
Mhm.
You know, which I think they're doing, okay. But I know the USA BMX community ain't too fond of it at all. And I mean, I can't blame them because, like I said, I think that it's not really helping.
Yeah.
What we are about, So
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying you should not do it.
Yeah, right.
Do whatever you want.
It's got its ups and downs, and it comes like that comes with everything.
Yeah, but ever since I was 5 years old, Rockford BMX had a sign that said no motorbikes or anything with a motorized vehicle on the track.
Yeah, so I mean that does kind of they can't ride those that rock.
Yeah, so I don't know. It can definitely, like I said, it can still be good because at least kids are out riding. You know?
At least they're exposed to it.
Yeah.
It's showing them different things.
Right, they're not playing a video game; they're out riding. So what?
Right.
Like I said, it's positive, negatives. There's a lot of positive in it. There's a lot of negative in it. It's just what do you want to look at?
Yeah. Very true.
And BMXers, we're pretty loyal.
Yeah,
we're very loyal to our bicycles.
Yeah, we do really we don't like cheating.
Right.
Yeah,
right. We're very loyal to our bicycles. So when we see something like that, it's like,
are you cheating?
Yeah, you're not.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you're not in our club, So you better get out of here,
Yeah.
So I think that's why it got such a bad rap,
Yeah,
so quickly.
I guess that makes sense to me.
Yeah, we're loyal.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think that it's just more about motocross and BMX.
That is true. So, do you have any more topics you want to touch on this week?
I don't know. Do you?
I think I'm good on it. I don't got anything else that's coming to mind. If you guys have any comments, questions, you should post them below. But when we do another one of these things, we'll answer them all.
Yeah. We don't know when we'll do another one exactly like this, but you guys get your questions out, and we can make sure that we can get them answered for sure. Got any questions for me or Nate or about us or anything? We can definitely take care of that. So, alrighty, guys. We'll see you guys with the next one.
Peace. Have a good one.